Oh, hello. This is Dirty 20 Gaming. My name is Kevin. And outside in the real world, it is an absolutely beautiful, stunning, magnificent day where I live. The darling buds of May are out, and it's only March. So, in against that backdrop, because it reminded me of kind of the world that these guys are playing in, we can begin today's story, but not before we introduce the important people. That is the players, the people that take my ideas and turn it into a story. Because mine are just ideas until we play it out and bend it and twist it and shape it in their own inimitable styles. Speaking of inimitable styles, let's start with Siosa. What do you do other than our? Well, tell us about our Sunday game.
Well, I am Ziosa. I am playing Anchors Away tonight in up the creek, and on Sunday I run Shadow of the Walkthrough, which is a first edition 7th Let's Play that has been dubbed the dark game of the the channel at the moment. So, um, come check us out. We are having a lot of fun in the city of Freeburg. So,
Yes, parts of that city are still standing.
most of it, most of it. There's just
One
part of it
small
that
incident.
there's just one part that grew a tree.
Yes. And trees are they're good for everybody. Let's move on, shall we? Speaking of good for everybody, oh, that's the most neutral segue ever, but I'm using it for Brilchan. Tell us about yourself.
Hello, everybody. Tonight, I'm Brilchan Carol. Uh, Today, here where I am, I feel envious about the pretty day because it's the middle of the night and it's raining and it's cold and I hate it.
Oh,
So I'm hoping for some warmer days
here, let me
soon to
push some
come.
into the mic for you.
But that's the real word. Let's talk about the fake words that we'll all love and play here. Tonight I will be playing Ben Drown, the vengeance obsessed guy who maybe found some friends and some found family. And that's today, that's now. And in Friday,
On Tuesday.
Friday?
Yeah,
No,
Tuesday.
Tuesday.
Yeah.
I'm sorry. I always mix up the names of the days, even when I'm 40, 35 years old, but it doesn't matter. I play a sloppy Dionysus, Slavic deity of a person, Kraken the crazy hacker, who got unaddicted from one substance and his boss lady got addicted to the same drug. So now he's fuming mad, but it's a very fun game with some dark twist, but another found family situation that it's a very fun watch, and I think everybody should see it.
Yeah.
So that's
That's
all
our
from
Tuesday game.
me.
Wonderful. Thank you.
Yes.
We're just going to go around the Zoom call in the way that I've got it. Speaking of which, we use Zoom. We hardly ever say that, but yeah, we use Zoom for this. So, yay, Zoom. I pay you, but that's fine. Next, let's go with Deku Lily. First of all, thank you for being here today. I know
Hello.
it was not the easiest thing in the world to get here today, so I appreciate that. But what do you do when you're not here?
Exist.
Oh, good.
Like I don't stream or anything like that like everybody else.
But you're doing
So
it
I
now.
just kind of I mean on my own, like Janet
Okay.
or
Yeah.
anybody else in the Dirty 20 gaming.
Yeah.
And yeah, that's me.
That's you. You make it.
Although
Yeah.
I forgot to put a hat on Cassandra, so if I'm a little quiet, I apologize, but I forgot something important.
Oh, okay. No
But
problem.
you watch a lot of Dirty 20 content and you leave wonderful hard comments.
You are arguably, and there's not much of an argument to it, our number one fan.
Yes.
Yep.
Is
You've literally
I just have
watched more of
to
that stuff than I have. So, like, literally, you've watched more of it than I have. So what was that, Siosa?
I just have to ask if Cassandra's getting enhatified while we play.
And hatified, yes.
Yes.
A hat is settling. I'm not, but yes, as soon as you got it, let me know. And if I've got a second in the game, I'll actually change it. I can get the image in there. So if you're making it, I'll do my best, but I no promises. But,
I need to adjust her posture, so
okay, yep,
I've got something in mind.
just
Surprising.
pop it into our cast chat as soon as you're ready, and then I'll grab it from there. Let me get to our cast chat. Speaking of which,
Hey, hey,
producers.
hello.
Okay, I'm coming. I'm coming. Hello. Off the premiere of the successful premiere of your very own game. Thank you for joining us this evening, Janet. Tell us about your stuff. I got your one. I'm about to hit your.
Beside this prank, I'm streaming on YouTube and Twitch, and yesterday I streamed showcase of Silent Hill new game. So I hope, and soon I want stream The Sims, and I'm also making videos like I made about Siberia. I'm working now on another video, but this weather raining also at my place, making me so sleepy, and this is why it take time to make video.
You guys are. This seems like a very good time to mention.
Sleepy Pals
you
Unite.
you said the word. Yeah, you said the word sleepy. Two of our players tonight. It is tomorrow, literally, where you are
Yes.
right now. And I will never ever stop being humbled by the fact that you guys are willing to stay up until stupid o'clock in the morning to play this game. That will never wear off. I will never stop feeling good because of that. So, to pay you for that, we should probably play this game.
Yay.
Hello, Rock Paper Fox Nerd. You would jump in and say, hey, hey. We say back to you. And this is a game called, we're using the game system Rapscallion, which is from Magpie Games. It is absolutely wonderful game of pirates. I have done my typical thing to it and made it, whilst similar, all but unrecognizable to some people in some cases, because that's just me. I can't leave a system alone, but it has been an amazing system, and we are going to. Sorry, I gotta get rid of that. Before we start tonight, one of the things I have been doing wrong the whole time, not wrong, I've been skimming by it the whole time, is the correct use of bonds. At least 3 or 4 times somebody has said about bonds, and I've gone, look, stars, and then moved on because I forgot. So this time I've got it on the page. The thing you can do with bonds, and I'm going to keep this page open because obviously it's not sticking. You can use a bond to help or hinder someone, but normally it's not you. So you can use one to a crewmate's roll or subtract two from a crewmate's roll. Alternately, you can add one to your roll against somebody that you have a bond with. You can do this after you see the result of the roll, but you have to describe how you use that special bond with them to affect the result. The other
We
thing
should
is,
say, we should say what bonds we have.
we went through it during character creation, but yeah, everybody will have at least, most of you have got one, at least one with each other. And that's actually a good idea, but I just want to finish reading them off too. The other thing you can do that I had completely forgotten about, you can use a bond to push an NPC to greatness or to thwart them. If you have, you can either ensure that they do excellently or foil their plans. And then the third thing you can do is give them or remove a tag or trouble. For PCs, they're troubles. For NPCs, they're called tags. So you can make them insecure because a tag is pretty much any adjective that you can think of. So those are the things you can do with bonds. And also, some of you have got skills that talk about having the ante or the giving you the ante in an encounter. An ante gives you a bond that you can only use against that person. and it's used generally speaking in combat. But your primary, it has to be your primary opponent, and it gives you that bond that you can do one of those things with uh, for them. So you could add one to your roll or take two from theirs. So with that technical rendering of the rules, I learned a thing in public, so I'm happy and moderately embarrassed. The last session ended in one of the sweetest ways
I
I've ever
have
seen.
que-
Yeah,
I have question.
yeah, yeah, please.
We don't level up at that station.
Not quite yet for yourself. I'm keeping track of yours. You are,
Because I
at the end of
remember
tonight, you'll go up. Yeah.
because I remember that you said 5 points of experience
Yep.
back then.
Yeah. And to get to the next level, you needed 8. So at the end of tonight, you'll have
Okay.
enough. Yeah. We'll do that at the end of tonight. I'll send you a message and we'll get that point added to something. But we ended as the sun was setting on a forest fire. The 5 of you in a big group hug on the deck of the Espoir. As that sort of runs its course and you start to separate out, each of you to go your own ways. Let's start with Ben, because we were talking a bit before the show, and you have a plan. What's Ben gonna do when he gets a moment to himself?
So Ben running off the party slash forest fire slash fight took a bottle of cherry wine and a pot, and he wants to make zombie wine because he took also a zombie demon zombie skull
Yep.
that Vanessa very artistically blow the skull off. So there is a very cool, very neo-noir blowing piece of skull,
Yep.
and he kind of wants to put the head in the pot.
Yeah.
Get some sweet cherry wine in there, and using his demonic flame, he
Okay.
wants to peel off the rotten demonic meat from it, because he's planning to make a soul anchor out of it, because he's thinking that he started thinking that his mother was a bad mother, and he needs vengeance on her as well because she ruined his life, and he wants to get vengeance on her lover that made her crazy and left her with the gambling debts, and that's the reason that Ben lost his mother at age 6.
Yeah.
And landed on the streets before the church found him. So he wants to use all the demonic energy to make, I think it's a downtime option, to make a ritual.
Okay. Yeah, you're absolutely right. Let's go down here. Perform a ritual.
Yeah.
When you use something strange to perform a ritual during downtime, this is actually a great thing. Let's do a round of downtime as part of this. That's a really good idea. Um, roll on plus Spitfire, so 2d6 plus your Spitfire.
Yes. And my Spitfire is to why did my rolling dice? Okay, it works. 2d6 plus 2. One moment, I'm rolling. It's 6 plus
6.
2, so 7, 8.
8.
A
Oh
2
my
and a
goodness.
5.
Whew. Okay, you made it to the 7 to 9 range because 6 would have been very, very bad. All right. So it accomplished its goals. What was so your
He
choices are,
wants
yeah, you choose one, I choose one because you rolled a 7 to 9. So the choices are: the ritual has
Yes.
unintended side effects. You need to find a rare component to complete it. You are cursed or changed in the process. So you get to pick one of those as the
Okay.
positive side of this. Plus, it worked. So you
Yeah,
have what we're going
because
to say is you have if this the part that means this worked is you purified that piece of skull. So it's not a
yes,
soul catcher yet,
anchor it.
but it's the first step, right?
Yep.
But
Okay.
now what happens?
And I think that unintended side effect
Okay,
sounds cool.
okay, come up with one. If I don't think it's bad enough, I'll make one up.
Okay. It's hard to think of something on the fly. Maybe it's when he uses it, it tears off a part of his soul as well, because he's doing something very evil and something very unnatural. So no, I think it would be the maybe the first one, a third one would fit better. Something irrevocably changes in you, or maybe he would get a wound or something. But because I think like soul magic is very evil, and it should have a personal cost for him. Like when he's trying to
I
pull
I've
out
got a
someone else's
yeah,
soul,
I got a
his
personal
soul
yeah.
should be framed.
So an unintended side effect. You succeed without realizing you've cut a deal with your demon. You thought you were doing this. At some point, just like the day the little bastard caught you, he snuck in a question that you, by answering yes, signed a contract.
Yeah.
And so, as you finish the process and you have created this pure thing as a base for your soul anchor, because I've also
I
got
love what
change
that
too.
means.
Um,
Look into my characters.
um, you sign away the right for your demon to take over physically at any one time it chooses.
Okay,
And you don't
I'm good
realize that
with
till you're
that.
done. Like they can literally take you over and jump off the ship if that's what they choose to do.
Okay.
That's the one you chose.
Yes, and now for the last one that you will choose.
No, it's not worse. It's just different. As a way to mark that you've signed the contract, your left hand from the fingertips up to the elbow grow very painfully scales that match the demon zombies that you saw. So
Like
you
six
are you
from
are literally
Fool's Gold.
becoming what you eat.
Yeah, and he would take the wine that was left,
Yeah,
the pieces of meat in the wine, and he would put it in a wine skin from a fish's bladder
yep,
to drink, because he's got appetite for demonic meat now
yep.
and
That's what
zombie meat.
started all of this, right? Yeah.
Yes,
All right. Perfect. Um,
thank you. I'm very happy
because of
with
where I
this.
want to go with the fourth one of these, I want to get the two more folks off the deck. So let's go Cassandra. As the group hub breaks up, this is a perfect time to tell you this. As you look around, the forest fire burned through during, narratively speaking, in the background while all of this happened. It took out the forest and it did burn the fields. So that last of the stooped wheat that we talked about, that's
Hmm.
gone. But the village is now empty and somehow it didn't burn. And you've been told by Steve and Tara, and you've seen with your own eyes, it is stuffed to the eyeballs with harvest, a cornucopia. Like that town is the horn of plenty, right? It's got more than you could possibly carry.
Yep.
To
And
Yeah.
before I let the mayor on, I told him they owed us.
Oh, you
And he
absolutely,
said because I critted, anything we wanted.
absolutely. They're also leaving, so he kind of doesn't have a say anyway. Nobody
Yep.
does, yeah. But yes, you
Yep.
absolutely you have this legit. So, your ship has naturally 5 spaces of storage.
Mm-hmm.
3 is what you were sent out to get, like when you guys were sent to the corner store at the start of this to go and get some fruit and vegetables from the beach.
Yep.
You were commanded to bring forth 3 units of storage. You have 5 empty units of storage right now. Plus, you can put stuff on the deck. Plus, you can bring stuff into the garden. Let's say a max you could put on right now, I would say, is probably 8 units of cargo.
Well, if we go over our capacity, we risk capsizing before we even get back home.
Yep. Plus, you got to come back down this river anyway, right?
Yep.
So, how much now? I guess would be the question.
I guess we had to jettison some of our stuff in order to get to evacuate all the villagers.
Yes,
So
you
how
did.
much
Yeah.
of that would you say we
So,
had to get rid of?
so let's say you get that with that as a base minimum, right? To restock because that's what that's the base minimum, and then you've got these spaces left. So you've got 5 spaces in the hold that wouldn't be pushing any limits in any direction. It wouldn't change the ship balance, etc., etc.
Okay, so
And that's your crew still got lots of room, so,
mm,
even though you picked up some.
I guess we could get 7 with
Yeah,
intentions to drop off 2 of this cargo whatever measurement,
yeah.
dropping it off at the outpost, not only for the outpost station there, but for the people that just went there
Oh, the ones
to
down at the river source.
yeah.
Because you guys are still heading up towards the Vikings, right? As far as everybody knows, although nobody knows that everybody else wants to do it too.
Yeah,
Yeah.
that's the thing.
Okay.
I'm torn on how to deal with them cuz on the one hand, we can roll up in our nice big ship uh with our cannons loaded with grape shot
Mm-hmm.
and kind of show a force these
Just
dipshits stupid enough to burn food.
just a
How
point of
real
order. I'm
pirates
not
do
sure
things.
if we actually have cannons because I think the ship model that we chose was cannonless.
Oh, was it? Never mind then.
It's still a big ship. Um, I would like Cassandra. Can you give me a size up roll as you're thinking? Because you're thinking about this. So let's try and size
Slash
up what little
R
you know. Let's
space
size up a little bit about this enemy.
X. Let me copy that really
To feed your
quick.
cat and Binks, I presume, was one of your cats, was being a pain because if Binks is your roommate, coolest name ever, and it's too bad that they were
Um,
being a pain, but I'm going to presume it was probably a cat. Cassandra, sorry, I got distracted. That happens a lot.
vinegar, right? Plus
Yes,
vinegar.
please. Yeah.
Plus 1. Hat. 6.
Oh, okay.
Let's see.
Yep.
Experience point.
Yep, you get an experience point for that. And yeah, this is simply a case of that an idea you didn't have. So we'll just blow by that like it didn't happen. So, kind of with the little bit that we just did, that's that and taking care. I presume taking care of your ship. Is that your other? What is your other goals for this evening?
Mm,
Because you just tell people to put 7 units of food on board and they do it. You don't have to go.
yeah.
Yeah.
A lot of men happy to go get their grubby little hands
Oh,
on stuff
oh,
they
and
haven't
they're
seen in a
they're
while.
just they're walking down the streets just nah, 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 yeah, like sending kids to pick berries, right? They're bringing back. They're eating as much as they're bringing back,
Yep.
and
Um.
loving you for it, right?
Aw. Um.
Well, the only thing better than a good pillage is a pillage with no guilt. I mean, it's
The mayor said it. They
yep,
owe us.
yep.
Um.
I don't want. I mean
Damn.
that's a lot of work already. So you could say that's your plan.
Yeah. Pretty much.
Okay.
I kind of don't want to metagame things because even though I know Vanessa has a target, I don't think she knows Ben has one, and she does want to help. But
Yeah,
like, how much do I help, and
right.
how much can I get away with helping? And
Well, how about
because
as if I may, how about we as you're thinking that where would be the natural place for Cassandra to go?
she's angry at those posers upriver.
Yeah,
They're stupid enough to burn food. Who's even if their intention was to get the zombies, they're too stupid to realize or care that perfectly good food was in the way.
I'm going to give you the information now that your roll failed to get you because you just figured out what Cassandra figured out, which is, hey, wait a minute. Those people, and I have to now refer to them as this because every time I don't, Ben explodes. These these people who are calling themselves Vikings um, raided these folks for food, and now they're burning it. That makes no sense. On top of everything else, like just the not telling them when they're going to burn the forest, all of that stuff.
That does raise a good point, doesn't it? I just assumed they were stupid, but what if somebody else started this fire?
And as you start thinking that, do you end up in the library?
I would say so, yeah.
That's like I love that. That's more your uh, uh,
It's the thinky
that's more your
place.
that's more your office than the captain's office is, and I love the way that that resolved out because you're not the captain except when the ship needs to have a captain, and then you are. It's
Yep.
it's it's beautiful. It's wonderfully done. As you sit down in a library, there is a large tome next to you, your tome, the tome that's got pointy in it. Um, and it rattles on the table like it does when it wants to get your attention. But before you tell me what you're going to do with that, I would like you to roll another size up, except I'm going to give you the option of using vinegar as it is there or Spitfire because this is magic.
I think Spitfire, so +2.
Okay.
8.
8. Once again, that just got you out of the fail zone with your bonus. So, but it is a success. Um, something about it's like oh, I know the analogy I want to use. When your friends knock on the door, you know who it is by the way that they knock,
Mm-hmm.
right?
Mm-hmm.
This is the book. This isn't Pointy.
Mm.
They are two entities. Pointy's in the book, trapped in
Right.
the book, to be fair. But yeah, but this is just the book getting your attention.
Anchor, can you come here for a minute?
Yeah,
Okay,
Anchor's coming with.
perfect way to engage a bond. Okay, also a great way to get Anchor into a scene. Okay, as Anchor, I love the idea that Anchor just kind of walks out of the wall anytime he's on the ship because he is literally part of the ship. But either way, Anchor steps into the room as he does. Uh, Cassandra, I would like you to stand your ground against book fever.
Okay.
But I would like you to, without, because again, you guys role played it, so I never make people pay for things that they role play well. You can use your bond with Anchor, who is now here, to add because it's important that you who you're using, and it is if they're here, it also you also add one. But this is your vice, so we're +2 -1. So stand your ground, which is just 2d6 now +1.
Now, does she have to use the bond to get that +1?
Normally, and the way the rules are written, yes, but because it was role played so nicely, I'm giving you this one for free.
Your free one? All
Yeah,
right.
it was absolutely exactly how a bond play out is supposed to happen when you're doing stand your ground. So that book is just and Cassandra, it's right there, and you look up and you see out of the corner of your eye, you see Anchor. Give me your roll, please.
Plus
Plus one.
one, you said.
Yeah, the net result because you were +2 and then -1. A 5.
Yep.
Oh dear, oh dear,
Another
oh
Can
dear.
I
dirty
That's
wait,
a
20.
wait,
yeah.
may I interject?
Yes, you
So
can because you
one
have
of my
bonds.
I have an
Yeah.
ability. I
Oh,
have an
okay.
ability actually,
Oh, okay.
so that I can spend a bond and I can basically put a hand on her shoulder and speak words, and it gives her the effect of a 10+ on the stand your ground.
Perfect.
And
Yep.
that's what I'm doing. He just
Okay.
kind of like he puts a hand on her shoulder as he starts to see her like fading.
Yep.
Um, and he says, "You are a master of books, not mastered by them."
And with that, I just want a quick mechanics note because we talked about it earlier. That also was a place where if you hadn't had that skill, you could have burned a bond to give them +2 on the roll because you would definitely have a bond with Vanessa, right? But unnecessary because you have this
Yes.
ability. Or sorry,
So
with Cassandra.
burning a bond
Yeah.
would destroy the bond?
Yes, you use the bond to, if you, in this case, to give +2 to somebody else, and then you erase it. They recharge at the end of each chapter, not each session, but each chapter of the story.
Okay, thank you. I'm muting now.
Okay, and Vanessa, we're
Continue.
almost to you. I just want to finish this scene up. So, with that, you, as you're reaching for the book, Cassandra, you take that deep breath. Anchor says the words to you that kind of snaps the link. What do you do?
I guess she would kind of gasp a little because she wanted to tell him that it was the book
Yeah.
with capital letters and not the person inside it. But then it kind of hooked her before she could.
Yes. So, but now as you snap out of it, you can explain what he just, you could explain to him what he just saw.
Yep.
Yeah.
Oh, thank you. Um, I think I forgot to tell you guys, but the person inside is different from the book itself. I the book just tried to get me.
That's not the
Thank you.
first time.
It won't be the
He
last, I'm afraid.
kind of clears his throat and he looks right at the book. And I don't even know if this is like a possible thing,
Yeah.
but he's going to try to intimidate him. He's like, "That is strike 2."
I'm not sure exactly what to do with that right now, so I'm writing down threatens book times 2, and I'm gonna the next time you and the book next, yeah. All I'm gonna say for now, I'm having ideas already. All I'm gonna say for now is Anchor, don't find yourself in a room alone with that book. But for right now, absolutely. I mean, it doesn't quail, but what I will give you, again, no roll because great role playing. It stops its infernal shaking on a table. You physically see it bouncing. You guys would all have seen magic books before, right? So you know what it is. But as you tell it off, it's a and stops flapping its lid at you.
The book is gonna shank you with a paper cut.
And he just kind of gives it a satisfied nod. I mean,
Yeah.
he like, it stopped shaking, it's behaving now, you know.
Just because I thought of it, do you put anything on top of the book to keep it?
um,
Yeah, Cassandra, go please.
I want to check on Pointy first, make sure he's okay.
Ah, beautiful. How would you do that?
Well, the only way I can hear him is if I open the book, and to open the book, I need to touch it, which is how I hear his voice in my head anyway.
Yep.
So I tell Anchor I'm going to do this.
Yeah.
and open the book.
You open the book, and as you do, you feel a little tingle in your fingers, but it kind of it's like it's trying to tough up, but it's the equivalent is it sees Anchor over your shoulder looming and goes ha 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 ha. Um, but here's the here's the rub, as they say. There's no sign of Pointy. It looks like a regular title page in a regular book. You if you turn the page, it's a magical tome. It's exactly the same book, but you don't hear or feel Pointy anywhere.
I guess Cassandra is visibly heartbroken. She's familiar with loss, though, so she
Uh-huh.
just gently closes the book and, like, puts a paperweight on top.
Yeah. As you go to close the book, there's his you hear his little that little that little voice thing that he does,
Mm-hmm.
the little throat clearing way far away, and you hear it echo, 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 echo out to you out of the book. He's in there, but he's trapped. Like before, he was in the book, but he could talk to you. Now he's in the
Right.
book in a box. The book has cordoned him off in the corner, basically. Put him in a cage.
I'm guessing this means I can't utilize this book's power because those were dependent on Pointy.
You could still do all the little stuff, but to do the big stuff, you could either you get the impression you could now try it yourself. There's a higher risk than normal, but you could try the big magic, or you could dun 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 voluntarily go into the magic book to try and rescue Pointy. I'm not going to ask you for an answer for that now because this is the perfect place, as you realize that, to cut away.
Yep.
Okay, leave you and okay. Anchor's screaming to say something. What we? I can see you
so
literally covered your mouth.
so
Yeah.
I still have a downtime.
Yep.
So
Yes.
I would like
Yes.
to do the investigate.
Oh, okay. Yep.
Um, so my Spitfire is not great, but
Oh,
or
it's
my
vinegar.
vinegar
Yeah.
is not
Yeah.
great, but we'll see if we can get that. No, I get an
Wow.
experience.
Holy cow! Another experience point, as they say. Another fail. And so yeah, you get.
That's fine.
Yep. Unfortunately, you
So
spend the rest of the night investigating to find nothing. Arg.
so what he had been doing was looking through the town for something that would make a suitable ink source for Cassandra,
Okay. Nice. Yeah. All right.
but it is not his field.
No, unfortunately not. All right. So, with that, thank you for your patience, Janet. Vanessa is left alone on the deck of the ship.
Before she also finished her investigation of goose
Yes, the
before she
goo.
go and take.
Thank you for the reminder. So,
She used that half of jar and
mhm,
half for the rest leave in jar.
yep. So you've figured this stuff out. Now you go and check, and the experiments have run their course. And what you have now in a glass vial, a glass container, is essentially an acid bomb. This will burn pretty much anything it touches.
Yeah, but I want investigate ingredients, how it made.
How it's made. Okay. In that case, what I will give you, yeah. In that case, yes. First, let's do a roll. Let's do a size up, which is vinegar, which for you is 0, so 2d6. Let's do this.
And second thing, if it is antidote for this.
Ah, okay. 9. So yeah, that's a success. Um, So 9 is a success. So, um, what it's made of is you get the information, but it's not going to be all that useful because it is the bodily fluids of these bolter zombies that you've seen before, combined with this the goo itself is actually demon ichor, and the only place to get it would be from a an actual demon, like the purebred demons in the cave back the way you came. So
I'm
it's a
curious.
limited supply right now.
I'm curious if my friend in chat will comment that I won't get from him this
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
fluid. It
Uh,
will be fun.
yeah. That's a good point. Thank you. I was going to get to him in a second, but before I do that, I want to answer the other question. Is there an antidote? Um, it turns out that if you pour enough water on this, it will sort of rinse off. It will stop burning. It's not sticky. It can be rinsed off. So now for the little dude in your head. Thank you for the hammerings of the people who shouldn't be here. I appreciate it. Oh, hammer of hell. But back to the game. The oh dear, I got distracted by chat. What were we doing, Vanessa?
My friend in chat was
Yes,
commenting.
your demon. Yes. I remember now. Thank you. Um, the whole time they're very quiet. It's like they're sitting in a corner holding their nose. They don't like the purebred demons, right? The ones in the cave. And he starts muttering about, "Oh, I'd kill one for you if I could. Oh, yeah, I wish I could. Oh. What you gain from the that part of the conversation is that once your demon has picked a body like you, they can't. It's very difficult to go back to that form. They're almost stuck in you as much as you're going. They're stuck in you, right? If that makes any sense, they can't get out any faster than you want them out. But then, as you're all alone out on the deck of the ship, a form of a copy of the list of the people that you have to kill appears sort of floating in front of you. He says, "Okay, I need a distraction. I need a distraction from all that goo. Well, look, this little town that we're heading to, this little longhouse, this little place of what is it they're calling them, Vikings? You've got some killing to do there."
Yeah, and it will be take time before we arrive. So let's get some fresh air. And Vanessa will go on deck and she will sit down on edge of board looking on beach and trees, and she will be thinking that in village they rescued she's have some unhappy couples, and she's sad that nobody would want her because of her friend in head, and she's kinda sad that even if someone would want, then he will be in danger because she's assassin, and she's so sad. Then she look at water under her feet,
Yep.
and she's quiet.
You're just watching the water ripple between your toes, thinking all of those things. And you see your own face in the reflection between your own feet.
Yeah,
And then it kind of changes a little bit. And then it changes a little bit more. And it kind of starts to come up out of the water. And it's you, but older. And they kind of come up the side of the ship using a skill or tools that you're not quite sure of. But it's like they just claw their way up the side of their ship until their face is literally between your feet. It's no longer just a reflection in the water. And they look up at you and tilt their head to one side. And they're not just older. There's something more primal about them. Something absolutely given over to the darkness. And they look up at you and say in a voice that sounds suspiciously like your demons, "So, this is the moment you decide. All of this?" And she kind of lets go with her hands and leans back and standing on the side of the ship like it's a perfectly normal thing to do, and starts just popping off fireworks that only you can see, because if the crew could see this, they'd be freaking out. But there's fireworks, and there's magical transformations and visions of different places and visions of adventures that this being has been on. This being that is you but not you. And then it leans back in again, and this time it does the uncomfortable tick 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 until it's right up in your face, propped on the side of the ship. "So the choice is yours tonight." And the little voice inside your head
What
says,
is what is other option? Because you said choose.
the little voice inside your head says, "Mutual freedom." I
Why
get,
tonight?
because by tomorrow it's going to be too late. We'll be too close. We'll be too confirmed. Fate is like a funnel. Once you're past a certain point, you don't go back. The little voice inside your head says, I hate to interrupt, but the actual deal," and you get this sort of like, "that was nasty" pool you were trying over there, even though they're talking to a future version of themselves. So to you, Vanessa, they kind of block that out and say the actual offer. They've got way more confidence now than they did a second ago. Is that I can leave you and you can throw me out. Either or, on command.
But then I will just complete my powers and your journey is still go a lot longer.
You wouldn't. And they stop and I said, "Well, how about this then?" And you could just feel them steepling their fingers in your head. "Well, it's true that while I'm not out, no, while I would be out, normally you wouldn't be able to use the abilities. But how about every time you did, you became a little more like," and he points out at the version of you that's in front of you, "a little more like that. In other words, I get a little more control. But only if you use the abilities which are exclusive to me."
How much I have time to choose?
"Oh, the choice is yours until we get to that damned little longhouse. So you really don't have long."
Okay. And Vanessa will look at her hands and together holding and she will thinking like what to choose because even when mission will be complete and we back to Pirate Village, everybody will go separate ways. Like Cassandra will go with her books, Ben whatever because she don't open what he will do, and Uncle will disappear because he's not needed as sheep,
Mm-hmm.
and she will thinking what with her.
Perfect. Because what it boils down to, Vanessa, is what this choice is really about. This is the moment where you choose to be yourself as you currently are, and therefore choose the crew as your chosen family to continue forward with, or cut the deal with the voice in your head for possible amazing powers, but it would mean leaving behind a certain amount of your humanity. And it would certainly mean leaving behind this crew. at some point.
Vanessa, at the end, we ask, why you coming out with this now and not before?
Because I don't want to go to that fucking volcano.
Okay? And she will be still thinking
Okay.
what to do and
Perfect.
looking at her hands.
Yeah. So, as you do that, the future you, the possible future you, backs down the ship. Back into the water, becomes your reflection again, and disappears under the waves. It was also fast. You know what happened, but it kind of feels like it didn't. Like maybe it was a dream or a flash of something, but it's real because you can smell that future you that smelled like a demon. So your choice is still your choice.
She also asked why you do this showtime and not just there.
I wanted, and you feel honest friendship, which is weird, but you get an honest reaction that says, I wanted you to know exactly what your options were. Which is weird for a demon. They're all about lying and don't read the whole contract. They're worse than telephone companies. Right?
She will say, I guess you're right. And she's still thinking.
Yep. I believe you to
Because
think.
she because she also feel like she don't have a lot option if it come to fight with this in this Vikings village.
Yep. So yeah, just before we move on to the next morning, because it sounds like nobody gets any real rest tonight. You're all busy. But before we move on to the next morning, I just want to summarize. Vanessa has a choice, and I want to retcon it slightly. Um, Instead of before you get to the village or to the longhouse, I want to retcon that to before you get to the city, your goal city. So
Okay.
yeah, so you've got time. And just to be really clear, what the offer is: give in to the demon, become more demonic, but get some freedom from them from time to time, or choose your friends, continue to carry the load that you're currently carrying, to be the person you currently are, and to choose the people over the demon.
And
Yeah.
also about future after end of mission.
Yes. Yep.
What?
That's part of the choosing the people side of it, is that it's ephemeral. What the demon's offering you is forever. So yeah, you have a choice, which is why I don't want to rush it.
I also wish that every time I use these powers, kinda my look will change.
Yes. Would you like that to start now? When you look down after this encounter?
Yes.
Okay. In that case, I want to ask you. It doesn't mean any choice in the future is different, but for now, is the tendency to go towards the demon or towards the human choice? Oh, better. Never mind. I take that back. You look down and your hands are flickering, like you're watching two movies at the same time. Off and on, off and on, off and on, off and on. Demon, human, demon, human, demon, human, demon, human, demon. You're like Schrodinger's demon right now. You are and aren't at the same time. The choice is unmade, and therefore the changes to you brought on by the choice are not yet certain.
I want also eyes to flickering like that
Yeah, you
when
look up in the
people
mirror
look
and
at
you
me.
see the perfect. Yeah, that's a perfect cutaway scene. Thank you. You look up at a reflective surface to see your eyes going like like a one arm bandit. What are they called? Gambling machine
Yeah.
with the spinning wheels. Your eyes look like that. It's just demon, human, demon, human. Everything about you hangs in the balance, but
Yeah.
you know only you can see it. Woof.
Fun thing, Schrödinger actually made a joke because he hated that proposition, and
Yes.
now everybody remembers him
Yes.
only for the stupid joke that he
Yes, it
hated.
was supposed to show how ridiculous the idea of quantum mechanics was, and it turns out that yes, it is ridiculous. That
It's-
fucking cat is both alive and dead until somebody looks. So, as far as we can tell.
I
Anyway,
also wish that every time she will lose power and can't change look, other people will react
yeah.
about this.
You're certainly going to get that chance very soon
And
because you're going to go into. They saw you change before when you went into assassin mode, and when we get to the longhouse, you're going to do it again. So, yeah,
yes, and Ben is mad about the Viking thing because you, Kevin, told
yeah,
me that he's
yeah.
a
Oh,
Northman,
I'm
so
bringing it.
I
It's
took it
coming.
and I ran
It's
with it.
it's coming. The circle of fullness is going to come right around and bite you right in your own ass. So don't you worry about that.
Amazing.
With that, thank you all for your patience. Doing those individual scenes is great fun, but it means I leave the rest of you sitting there watching for ages and
You
ages.
did
So
great.
thank you. So, with that, you all sort of find yourselves. I'm not going to punish you in any way for it, but dawn surprises you all. Let's put it that way. You're all still doing stuff when the sun comes up and getting stuff together. As you do, and oh, I know. No, not yet. You're not yet. Not yet. As you do, the sun comes up, the mist starts to burn off, and you see the last of the villagers heading downstream in their boats, stuffed to the ninth with food and whatnot, heading for the village on the coast. All of you are out and moving about. Anybody who wants to go, who's going first? Who's got plans that want to start at dawn? Typical sailor, he's up before the sun. Yes.
I think it's
Anchor.
just in general, like
Yeah.
whenever we're heading into danger, Anchor is like leading the way.
Yeah.
That's his role, and he knows it.
So you suspect, well, if you guys sail upriver today, you will get to the longhouse. So knowing that, what sort of preparation would Anchor do?
I think for him, it's like obviously he's been spending the time healing and stuff like that,
Yeah,
but for the
you're
most
all
part,
healed up.
it's uh, I think he's kind of nudging Cassandra to kind of check through her library of books and information, stuff like that. Like, what do we know of even fake Vikings? Like,
Right.
any other encounters with
Okay.
similar, because it sounds as though these people landed after the others, and so it stands that they would have come from seafaring uh, beforehand.
Yeah.
And if they're just, like Hot Topic Vikings that have
Yeah.
always
Okay.
been here,
Yeah.
then that's fine too. You know what I'm saying? But
Well, I love it. Cassandra, Anchor comes to you with that request. It's your library, after all. It would make sense to. I have an idea. Could you go look this up for me, like librarians used to work?
plus Anchor has a children's book that he still struggles with. So
Yeah.
you know,
And he doesn't
They
fit down
still
the
will
aisles.
take that.
He has to go down the aisles like this. But yes, Cassandra.
Okay. So that would be
That's almost that's sizing up, right?
size up.
Using your brain, yeah. In my head, anything using your brains is going to be use sizing up because it's definitely vinegar.
That's
There's a
9.
better roll. That's a 9. That's an actual success. What you find out, because it's only one away, this is how this is supposed to work. Because it's only one away, and now that we've seen the roll, Anchor, would you like to burn a bond to add 2 to that roll and make it a 10 plus? But you're muted.
no, because I need to spend a bond to come to somebody in danger, and that's a higher priority.
Okay. All right. This still does get you a success. You find in the books what Ben has been bellowing and screeching every time the subject comes up is essentially right. Viking is, at the very least, not the right word. It's a verb. To go Viking is to go raiding. Um, However, there is a common use version of Viking, Ben, that goes that the people that go Viking are called Vikings. They're from way up north. Ben said he was from way up north, so he should know. And they are from this far south. There's and how small most people's worlds are, especially in a sailing environment. They're almost mythical. Like they maybe still exist. There's maybe still longboats paddling around with Vikings in them, or maybe they've moved on from that.
They're a long way from home if they're legit.
At the very least, they are a very long way from home. Yeah. Okay. Ben, how do you start the morning?
Ben would still trying to cure a hangover. He would still take little sips of his demonic cherry wine.
Okay.
He would put the skull on his belt, and he would kind of feel cool with all the new magic, and he would not be scared of the hand, and he would be, I look cool, I look great, and he would be planning how to blow up the fake Viking in his.
And that's when the bottle starts to talk to you. Ben, stand your ground against your urge, your need, your overwhelming to consume the flesh of demons. So 2d6 with
2d6.
nothing, unless you can tell me who's inspiring you to help to not do it.
It's a 9.
Oh, it's enough. Okay. You
4.5.
okay? Well, in that case, you do have a question because burning a bond would give you the +1 to get you to a 10, which would mean that you completely resist this. Because a 7 to 9, you do resist, but you're going to end up with a trouble because of it. In other words, I tried not to do this before, but you will end up being addicted to this wine that you can no longer make because you don't have the ingredients.
He would take the trouble because he doesn't think about the future. He thinks that he's gonna die. He's gonna fulfill his purpose, and
Okay.
he's gonna get destroyed. Like he kind of is starting to think about the future because he likes this crew, but in all his life, he always ran to his one goal and not think about tomorrow. So he would take the addiction. He would go like, I'm
Your
just gonna
trouble?
find more demons and kill more demons and make more wine, and it will be awesome. And me as a player, I know that it's stupid, but Ben as a character is not thinking like that.
We're gonna So what we're gonna do then is you get a trouble, which goes on your character sheet. It's addicted to, and in this case, I'm gonna call it addicted to 6 doses of zombie wine because that's all you've got left is 6 drinks. So addicted to 6 doses of zombie wine.
Amazing.
And every condition in this game, every trouble in this game has a solution state, which is also part of it. So you are addicted to the 6 doses of zombie wine that you've got until either 30 days with no zombie wine passes. In other words, you got to go through a month-long withdrawal. Or, obviously, you get more zombie wine. So there's 2 solutions to this. Because I can't leave rules alone. So there's 2 solution states for Ben. Yeah, so go.
The second one doesn't seem like a solution. It just seems like an extension of the problem.
Well, it means
Yes.
it means he won't be penalized if he's on it. He won't be penalized for the withdrawal. Yeah.
I'm just saying, like the solution to cocaine addiction is not a big mountain.
Okay. You know what? I'll add a third then, or treatment and time for it because you
I'm curious if he will be continue drinking, he will changing Adrian Moore or Roddy Grant.
Yes,
Well-
you can see that he has a zombie hand now,
Yeah.
and he's not hiding it, he's flaunting it
Yeah.
because he thinks it's
And you're
cool.
holding a shaking empty glass in it. So yeah, things are not looking
Yes.
good for Ben. This guy that you just met seems to be metamorphosizing and an
The
alcoholic.
Kraken in my head is dancing, so
May,
So-
may
Yes.
I do a size up?
Yes. For what is it you're trying to size up?
I actually these got like
Oh, when you
zombie
see 'em.
parts now.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah.
I'd like to be somewhat clued into what is going
Yeah.
on.
I like that idea. See it. Give us a vinegar. That's a 6. What's
Yeah, that's
so-
a 5 for me. So that's another experience.
It is
Anchor
another
focused on-
experience, and because I love doing this, you're pretty sure a demon that his demon is taken over. You've heard of this before? When it stops being symbiotic and starts being sort of predatory. And as far as you know, it is a one-way process that inevitably ends with madness and death. All from one fail, because I'm the nicest GM in the world until I'm a dick.
I wish that Vanessa, after her said about Joyce, we see Ben too with his hand, because this
Oh, yeah.
could be interesting.
Yep.
yeah, with
So,
hand,
but
with
I just
the
want to give
skull
I want to
on
give
his belt.
Siosa a chance to react to this certainty that he's being taken over first, and then I want to let Vanessa react, and then I want to let Cassandra react.
Well, his reaction is actually to kind of like, no offense, Vanessa, but like you don't generally like turn from like one addict to another for a solution to a problem. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like, especially when they're kind of like they're on the same drug.
Yep.
So he's turning to Cassandra and he's kind of like he's pointing to the hand, and like he doesn't exactly have eyebrows to raise. It's more like a series of piercings. But they go up
Oh,
and
I didn't get that.
he looks at Cassandra and he says, "Do your books have anything for that?" Otherwise, he becomes one of those things you talked about in the tower.
I'm not sure how many religious tomes I have. We may need exorcisms.
With what you've got on hand, I would like because this gives us a great chance to play this out. Cassandra, please give me a size up. You've got a library to check in. As soon as he's saying it, you sort of.
Three.
Oh wow!
You
You
also have a
believe him.
bond with
It
Ben.
was
Okay,
2 ones.
I-
Oh my god!
I was just about to have Anchor make a suggestion that I kind of knew was a bad suggestion.
Yeah.
So like, let me throw this in there.
Yes.
Kind of
Yes.
like, what if we took his demon and we fed it to the book?
I don't think it works that way because it would eat Ben too. I know we just met him, but I don't think he's that bad. I'm sure there's been worse.
Could you write a book that just eats the demon only?
I could, but that could take a very long time, and I don't know how long he has.
Now almost everybody's got time to have some downtime, so you guys have to schedule this somewhere.
He kind of like, maybe we can figure out a ritual to delay the process. Like it's
Maybe.
kicking it down the curb a little bit.
Yeah.
And in the background,
And
Ben is
just-
dancing around.
Just to be clear, Cassandra, the double ones that you rolled for a total of 3, you believe the bit about the demon taking over. You are in no way limited as to how you choose to respond to that, but that's what the fail responds to. Plus, make sure you take your experience point.
Oh, right.
So the 2 of you are convinced that Ben's demon is coming out.
It does get Cassandra thinking about. She has this magnum opus that she's been trying to work on,
Yep.
but it was to end zombification. But if all that is stopping this engineer from doing stuff and getting him away from his chemicals or whatever, that's simple enough with just brawn.
Yep.
Maybe she can alter this magic to turn it into some kind of demon extraction thingy. Especially if demons are going to be a problem on this island.
Oh yes, and I'm already seeing
Fun,
the pay per view commercial or
fun,
the commercial. It's Demon Be Gone. Vanessa, yes, we've thank you for your
fun,
patience. Yeah.
fun, fun will be this extraction of Vanessa.
Yeah, try it. No, no, give me mine, give me mine.
The
Speaking of which,
first I think, who you gonna
Also,
call? Vanessa? No, Cassandra. Like
Vanessa,
Ghostbusters
this
for
seems like a
demons.
good time to segue to you. You see Ben's hand. I mean, he's literally dancing around on the deck. Um, you your demon's never done that to you. Your I rolled for you. You failed too, so congratulations. You also get an experience point. Um, so all of you, this is comically. This is supposed to be a really serious show, but all of you, even Vanessa, who has one inside of her, is convinced that Ben's demon is coming out, taking
yeah,
over.
but Vanessa, we think that better first ask Ben before decide
Yep.
for him.
So, what I'm going to do actually is you become convinced of that, and then the voice in your head says, "That's not how it fucking works. Look again." And you look again. That's better. That's an 8 plus your yeah. So that's an 8. That's enough. You look again, and it isn't because as you look, and this is where the others see it. Vanessa, you kind of forget to hold your form and you sort of kind of turn slightly misty. There's no mechanical advantage to this, but just visually you change as you use your demonic powers, and your eyes sort of fade out like almost into the astral realm where you can see him in his reality before you zoom back in and snap back to the Vanessa we all know and love. And your demon says, "See, I told you, full of shit. That's a side effect at
Vanessa,
best." Yeah.
Vanessa will freeze because too much at once.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
And she also feel gross looking at her Ben. She don't want shake it.
Mm-hmm. One more thing, Vanessa. As you have that reaction, you realize you used just for narrative purposes, you realize you used a demonic power, and had you cut the deal, you just would have lost a tiny bit of yourself doing something as simple as what you just did.
How I look now?
And you look,
Because
oh, thank you. Perfect question. You look down, and one of your two hands snaps to its human form and stays. The other one is still flickering.
why human? I'm asking because it didn't was ideal. It was like every time I use them on stuff, I turn into one.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm curious why human can't.
Because you chose to see, not that it wasn't that you used the magic, that was just sort of a realization, but the oh no, my brain has gone poop again. What was the event, the
He
triggering event?
realized the truth.
Right, when you realize the truth, yes. um, that yeah, the reason I give you that is because you chose to be a part of the team. You chose to be a part of the crew at that point. You didn't choose to judge Ben. You went for the truth.
Okay,
And so now you are the only one that truly knows that Ben is not turning into a demon. He's just kind of having a bad morning.
I think Ben doesn't know as well. He's
Yeah.
just singing sea shanties.
Vanessa will come to Anchor Cassandra and we tell them this quiet that Ben don't hear because he's dancing.
Yeah. Yep. Ben's tripping balls on the front deck. It's all good. So perfect. So the three of you brings us back. The three of you together on the bridge of the ship. rowers are in place. The food, the 7 units of food are stuffed on
Before
board. Yep,
before I leaving
yep.
to Longhouse, I want my character to drink in with gun and with grappling hook.
Yes, yep. And a grappling hook. Yep. And what was the other thing?
Gun,
Oh yeah.
drinking like
Oh yeah. You've
polishing.
always yeah. You've always got that as far as I'm concerned. But yeah, we'll add the grappling hook you specifically asked for. There's definitely one in that town. So, shipmates, crew, cast and friends, are we heading again? We find ourselves at the same point we kind of found ourselves earlier at, except it's even more pronounced. You are well beyond what you were asked to get, so you would be perfectly within within reasonable bounds to just turn around and go home. But there's the Vikings up here. There's the mystery of the zombies. There's at least more humans. You didn't think humans had existed at all recently, and now they're everywhere. So the three of you, because we're gonna leave Ben prancing around on the foredeck. The three of you, what is the plan?
I will use my grappling hook to move on roofs on this longing house
Okay.
and turn into assassin mode.
Yep.
I don't
Absolutely.
even
Yeah.
I will don't even use board to come to pitch, but I will just use this grappling hook with engine that
Yeah.
pull me up.
Yep. That's perfect. That is well within your job or within your job description as a sparrow. So yes, you're practicing with that, and you get your way up there. So, what are the
Yeah,
three of
but
you?
I mean,
Yeah.
yeah, but I mean like I'm use grappling hook to pull me
Yeah.
from the ship on the roof of this buildings.
Yeah.
So, but now you're deciding, so Vanessa wants to go. What about the other two?
Yeah.
She has a plan, she wants to go.
Yeah.
Anchor is trying to size up like the settlement as a whole because there's some unanswered questions,
Yeah.
and some of it he'd like to see if he can deduce before they even, get to the walls of it.
Absolutely. Yeah.
Um, he's also a little bit puzzled because like I don't imagine that like Vanessa like rushing ahead has been a common practice in the past.
No. Yeah.
So like her eagerness to kind of like go in fighting when there's been no discussion of like we're attacking this town or anything
Yeah.
like that
Yeah.
is worrisome.
Yeah.
So
Fair. And
I don't believe they've been made aware of like the assassination targets or anything like that, so he has no idea why she's up ahead.
yeah. Yeah. Cassandra.
Cassandra might have an idea because Vanessa is the one that asked for the broken compass
Yep.
that
And
she
map.
could put
Yep.
her little needles in
Yep.
and the
That's fair.
and
Yeah.
the map, yeah.
Yeah. So
But
Cassandra, yeah. You're technically you sent. I know you sent me the picture with the hat, and I said I was going to get it in, but I've been way too focused to do it. So Cassandra's
You
wearing
can
a
ask
captain's
her.
hat. Yeah. So Cassandra, what is your decision?
Vanessa has something important to do, and she's visibly hesitant. You can see that she wants to go watch her back, but she's also got a responsibility on the ship.
Sure. Okay. I guess the big
Um,
question is. Oh yeah. Sorry. Go ahead.
so let me do the size up because he's still kind of
Yeah.
approaching the place. And the assumption had always been we were going there to like Anchor's assuming that we're going there to talk, you
Yeah.
know. So
So you're sizing up the longhouse or the village you guys are just leaving?
yeah, I thought the village we were just leaving was the village that would have all the burning around it.
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
No, I'm looking at the longhouse. I thought
Okay.
we'd been
You
traveling
guys
to
are
get
heading in
there.
that direction. No, we technically this is what I was getting as we haven't left the dock yet, as far as I knew. Cassandra, was it
I
your plan
can't.
to? It's all good. It's all good. Cassandra, was it your plan to sail up the river?
Yeah, I think that was what she wanted to do. At first, she was pissed off at the posers,
Yeah.
but now that she's thinking about it, hey, it's stupid for them to just burn all the food. Maybe it wasn't them that started that fire.
Right.
So now she's curious and she wants to go see if one, these people are actually that stupid, and B, if they're not that stupid, maybe we can get a little more trading going on so they're not tempted to pick on their neighbors anymore.
Perfect. Okay.
And
So, yeah.
my size up is not useful.
Another fail. My goodness. So another experience
And
point. You guys are all going to be going up a level tonight. My God.
I
Uh,
have
I might
question.
go up 2 at this
you
rate.
might. Vanessa, yeah, you had a question?
What was my extra mission? I remember that I have better gun and ammunition, but I forget what was optional mission.
Let me look here. So there's the three people
Maybe
on your list that you have, and then you have defense. Oh, the other item was the button of possession.
No,
No?
I remember that I had target
maybe
and
kill them
and this
quietly, I think.
and I remember that there will be people around this target.
Oh, yeah. So yeah, you would. Yeah, your demon would certainly let you know the person is your that you're going to have to kill in this longhouse is never alone. You're going to have to kill one of the most important people in that whole village. So let's jump forward in
I
time then to the
believe what
ship.
the wording was
Yep,
with that button.
yep,
Your demon wanted to make a friend out of one of the target's lackeys in order to get close to them.
yes, right. Thank you. I wrote down the wrong thing, so I will
But
correct that.
then, but then it will be using demonic power as the
Yep. Oh, you can still use them now until you make the deal with the demon. You can use them as normal.
yeah. But I remember that how I'm turning look,
Uh
so
huh.
I need to keep in head that using this button position I will change the look.
Also, Vanessa can just tell Cassandra and Anchor that she has a target there.
Cassandra no, because I asked her about map and compass.
Yeah.
Okay.
So, um, what I'd like to do is skip to the moment when you see the because this is when the size up roll would make sense for the longhouse as you see it as you come around the corner of the river and see the longhouse for the first time directly. Does that work for everybody, or is there anything anybody wants to do before we get there?
I
We might
Yeah,
as
wanted,
well.
that's
Okay.
I wanted when we arrive, counter like assassin, turn more than
Yep.
quiet, jump on the roofs
Yeah.
with this
So we're
grapple.
gonna. My plan is, Vanessa, you're gonna get there slightly first, all by yourself, and then the ship will have the choice of pulling up. Uh, if that.
Yeah,
Yeah. Okay. In that case,
Ben
Vanessa, you're
just
the first one to
wanted
see.
to
Yeah.
tell Cassandra and Anchor that I'm gonna get my vengeance. He's there. I can kill him now. Happy day. That's why he's so singing and shanties and dancing
Okay.
and stuff.
Yeah.
all right.
So
I'm sorry, I'm just a little puzzled because like Vanessa is like she's on the longhouse of
almost.
the place that
I
we
want to back
can't
it up a
see
little before that. Where yeah.
of the place that we can't see yet.
Yeah, I know.
Like so
Yeah.
that's why I'm like,
Yeah,
where
I
are we
gotcha.
in this?
Yeah.
And I'm a little
This is the
puzzled.
She
perfect
jumped
So
spot to.
ship and ran ahead.
Yeah, this is the perfect spot for me to paint the picture the way I've got it seen. You
okay.
guys got closer. Vanessa leapt off with the grappling hook and bolted off into the trees going upriver. A human running is probably faster than your ship rowing, especially if they were to cut off some of the curvy bits. So, in my head, Vanessa's getting to and I'm going to describe it in a minute, the ditch just outside the town, outside the longhouse, more or less the same time as you guys are coming around the last bend in the river. So, there's really only a couple hundred meters between the two of you, a couple hundred yards is how I've and yes, you're absolutely right. That was not made clear. But that's where I see you being. Does that work for everybody?
Okay.
Okay.
Works for me.
You're
So she's at the village and we're still a couple hundred yards off.
yeah.
Okay.
Yep. Just because I want to be able to do it this way. So as you guys get the view, all of you, you see smoke coming from what looks for all the world like a longhouse sticking out of the ground, and there are also associated buildings with it, surrounded by a deep, steep-sided ditch and a wall. You see people milling around inside, just doing things, and there are chickens milling around with them. The first animals you've seen since ever. There's a double
Since we
gate.
arrived.
Yeah, since you've arrived. Yeah. There's a double gate, like an airlock, except it's not sealed in. It's like it's a wooden circle. There's a ditch surrounded by a wooden wall with a double gate in it. At that gate, inside, standing above on platforms, there are guards with crossbows. Out in front of it, by about 10 or 20 meters, yards, there's a head on a pike. And there's a very, very small, inside the area, there's a very small community garden that looks like it's picked all but bare. And now we can do the size up rules. And I'm going to let you do yours again because I made you wait so long. Because I actually have a size up rule table here for what you'll see if you actually see stuff. So to make up for my misleading you as to where you were, we'll give you that roll back. But you can keep
No,
the
no,
experience
that's
point.
fine. Yeah,
I want
I got the experience point for it. I made the roll. I don't really
Okay.
feel
want-
justified in getting a second.
All right.
I want jumping with my grappling hook on walls.
Okay. So you're not going to stop and look. You're just heading in.
Yeah, and sneak with my
Okay.
assassin
Yeah.
mode.
All right. That's what your plan is. And the three on the ship. What is your plans?
Ben would just like a drunk person at a party, he would go toward Anchor and Cassandra and say, friends, happy day. I will get my vengeance today. He is there in that village. But I wish I could burn it to the ground, but my mate said that I have to be subtle. So he would take out his magic compass and he would try to roll size up, but his size up would be to locate where in the village his target would be.
Okay.
And
That
and
would be his focus.
Anchor says we are not raiders. We do not burn villages to the ground. We do not make war on those who have not made war on us.
They
You have a
Yeah,
kind
no
of
duel.
did.
innocence.
He says if you have a duel, that is a matter of honor. That is understandable. And he kind of
Yes.
like he looks a little like worried towards like where Vanessa has disappeared because of that.
Yep.
Like
Absolutely. Yeah.
like
You've got one chance to talk somebody out of it. You didn't get the chance with Vanessa, right?
Yes, because I care about you. I won't do it. And my demon mate said not to do it. And I don't want trouble for the ship. So I will find that person, do it quietly. But they kind of did attack us with the whole fire and the forest and the thing.
you have a matter to duel someone over, duel them. Declare your challenge.
That's a cool idea. Thank you, friend.
Ben, in your homeland, that would be the that's how a person who was not enraged would do it. Like it's the technically correct way to do it. Not sneak up behind him, stab him in the neck, and drag him off into the wilderness to beat for 7 hours. Right?
Yeah, and he would ask his demon mate, is that acceptable in our arrangement? And he would say that out loud because he's kind of
Yeah.
rattled.
As long as no one sees you and no one finds the body.
But so no duel because they would see me. Yeah.
You have to find a way to get that person, either kill them in a way that is not that nobody sees you doing it. That's what your goal is. Some way or another, you got to figure out how to do it without anybody seeing you do it. And you said you kind of tried to figure out where they were. The inside of a longhouse, is all one big room, and you can tell that they're inside the big room moving around. So, and there's a
So,
lot of people you see going in and out of there.
so and the compass, is there a name? And the compass, the needle?
Um, no, but there's a feeling. You'll know them when you see them.
Okay,
Okay,
I have
I'm
question.
happy.
get real quick before we get to Cassandra. Yeah.
If I use my super gun and ammunition, it's demon powered
No,
or not?
no.
Because he give me.
Yeah, but that's a tool, so no.
Okay.
Yeah. I love how you're reacting to this. Like, even though you didn't make the deal, you're still going, maybe I'm not using these demon powers quite so, like, flippantly as I was before, which is really cool. So, that brings us to Cassandra. We always get to you last. I think that's because we're usually looking to you to be the captain. So, um, the ship is heading towards this guarded community with a head on a stick up in front of it. What's the plan?
Well, probably not the first people we've seen that do that sort of thing. So I guess raise the white flag and
Okay,
maybe give a couple toots on the ship's horn
sure.
and like, hey, we're friendly.
So, offer. Oh, parlay. We finally get to do it. Um, that's your plan, right? To talk them into letting you come in
Yep.
without kicking your butt. We can do a thing. So when you parlay with an interested party, they have every reason to talk to you. Tell them what you want and what you're offering in return, and roll polish. So, just before
My
you roll,
weakness.
Cassandra, I wanted to mention, uh, perhaps foreshadowingly a little bit, the only food that's visible anywhere around this place is that little tiny stripped out garden.
And we're packed full of food.
You are
And we can always stop
overpacked.
by that one
Yep,
village to top off to
yep,
with the original amount we just
yes.
gathered.
And they have no idea it's there. So you've got like you're playing Rust and you've got a really well hidden base, and they can't raid your shit. So, but yes, with that in mind, and you, like I said, you run up the "Don't shoot us" flag, and you make a whole bunch of "Don't shoot us" noises, and give me a roll with polish, please.
My weakness. Let's see.
But the
Come
way that
on.
everybody's been rolling today, this has got to be there.
What
It
the
is,
hell?
double sixes. Double, it roll 20, taketh away and taketh away and taketh away, and then it giveth with bells on. And 11, even with -1. How much food did you offer? I should have asked you that before.
I guess one one unit's worth
Okay. Um,
because
yeah.
we wanted one unit for the outpost and one unit to cover all the people that were
Mhm.
going there
Yep.
from the burnt village.
Yep. And I'm sorry I've turned this into a resource management game.
It's a part of the system.
It is. So you give up that, you offer that fresh food to them, and it's not a hard sell. As soon as you say food, you see their heads sort of perk up. And actually, I want to we made the roll. Now I want to do the scene. Now that I know how it plays out. So, what is it that you yell or have yelled at them to make first contact?
Something along the lines of "Ahoy there, we have come for trade." Because
Excellent choice of phrasing. Yes.
their whole beef with the other village was because they stopped trading, right? So if
Yes.
they want to trade, come out to the wide, wide world.
Yep. So with that, you offer them that and food. Um, a third person comes up. There was two crossbow guards at the gate. A third person steps up. You can see they've got a telescope sort of strapped to their chest. And just before they talk to you, they turn around and face northeast and kind of scan the horizon and then put it away and turn back to you. What is it you want in exchange for your food?
May I make a size up as to what they were looking at in the
Absolutely, you
northeast?
may. Yep.
Sorry.
Yep.
Go back.
Okay. So you give me a roll plus vinegar, Cassandra. What is it you want in exchange? Oh, another 5.
Mm.
You can't see it, but take the experience point and see map. They were looking northwest and northeast. Presume north is the top of the map. Anyway, so back to Cassandra. What is it you want in exchange for this food? No hint of a northern accent. Ben's got one. You don't hear it.
Um, uh, metalworks, tools, and we're hoping to claim some land, so we need plows as well.
And perhaps swords. We make fine swords. And all of a sudden, it's a sales pitch. But as they're pitching you all the things that they can sell, yeah, yeah,
I Anchor's leaning into Cassandra and he
Yeah.
says, "Traps of iron."
Traps, like hunting traps.
Like bear traps.
Ooh, yeah, those work on zombies good. Yeah, bear
Yeah.
traps.
Yeah. And you start as you engage in this conversation. As soon as you said metalworks, like the smiles get bigger because it's like we got that, we got lots of that. Everything you asked for, they've got a version of. Uh, but as you're doing that, the dock is prepared for your arrival, and I'm going to cut away just before you pull up because on exactly the other side of town, just outside the wall, Vanessa.
Onwards.
Yeah,
I want.
you hook the. I just want to do you hook
Yes.
the grappling hook on the wall and just and
No,
climb up.
I can mechanical that will pull up me
Okay, yeah,
at once.
yeah. So zip up to that, and you look over the gap between the points of the logs. You see this compound. There's a big ditch in front of you, and then there's a compound beyond that, with the big long house in the center with all the fancy people going in and out, and then the workers going in about the other buildings.
Vanessa will quick pull out her compass to locate where to go, and she will continue her way
Yep.
to a
As
target.
soon as you hold up the compass, it points at the fanciest end of the longhouse. You know enough from looking at the building. It's pointing basically at where the king would sit.
She will stay her in assassin mode, and she will go towards her on the roof
Yep.
because she want not be seen in windows.
Okay. So with that, I'm going to roll plus blood for you. Oh dear. Although perfect. It's another fail, another experience point. Roll 20 is being evil tonight, but this allows this perfect moment because Vanessa, you flip over the thing and you drop down. You go down the ditch, up the other side of the ditch. You back up against the first wall, and just as you're reaching up to go onto the roof of to pull yourself onto the roof of that house, you hear, "That's pretty cool." And you look down, and there's this street urchin looking up at you and blinking.
I will throw my button possession because it will be quiet.
So you're doing what?
Throw on this person my button possession because
Possession.
it's quiet.
Vanessa, you were on your way to being such a nice character, and now you just demonically possessed a child. Is that the is that what I just saw?
Yeah,
I
the
love it.
quickest, the quick,
Oh, okay.
the quick way, the quick way to quiet kid
Yep, yep. Um,
and not to kill.
yep. Just yeah, okay. I already got away. All right, we're good. So yeah, you toss that button at them. It hits. They catch it right, like it's a coin. They look down, and you feel the power in your head surge through their hands, up their arms, into their bodies, and take them like just wrap around them. And the kid looks down at the thing and he folds his hands around it and goes, "That's cool. I'll be back in a minute." And he turns around and starts calling out names like, "Terry, come here." And as he's walking away, there's a thin trail of fire falling off of his fingers. "Terry, Joey, come here. I got your money."
And what is distracting?
Yep.
I will continue on the road.
And you boom up onto the roof, sending this demonic fire child off
But I
to
want-
wreak havoc on his friends.
But I think this will pay my eyes change color
Yep.
or something.
Oh, thank you for. You always say the right thing to remind me, Vanessa. As you pull on you up onto the roof, and as your hands come down, the other one that was still flickering before is now full blown demon. So you've got one human and one demon hand. The two decisions that you've made, you're hanging in the balance. You're on the roof of one of the assistant buildings. You're not on the roof of the main place yet.
I will continue towards this main
Okay.
and quiet like assassin.
This time you're much better. You run along the ridge, you run out onto the pole at the end, you jump, grab with your grappling hook, zip up onto the roof. Just as you land on the roof at the cheap seats end of the longhouse, like the king's at the other end, your target's at the other end inside, you're up here on the roof at this end. Just as you land there, one of the chickens down below you sees you and starts going, "Bop, bop, 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 bop," and a couple other chickens, "Bop, bop, bop." No people saw you, but the chickens squat. I'm going to cut away there real quick because I want to go to the, at this point, the ship pulls up to the dock, and as a response, maybe even it almost seems like as a response to Anchor's comments about being safe, you hear the chickens inside the place just start to lose their shit. The chickens are going nuts. This time I want to do it in exactly the opposite order so that we give Cassandra some options instead of presenting her with just a bunch of stuff that's already being done. So, Cassandra, how do you respond to, like I said, they're pulling up to the dock. They're getting ready to tie you off. You have got promises of all the ironwork you can imagine for the amount of food that you're willing to give them. What's next as the chickens erupt? I want to call a punk band erupting chickens. You're muted.
Oh, sorry.
No problem. It happens to every single one of us. Repeatedly.
Brain.
Yeah.
Small talk. She wanted to like, hey, crazy about that wildfire last night, huh? What do you think started it? Just kind of.
Oh, that was us. The zombies were coming out of the forest again, and they get too close. It scares the kids. We burn the forest. They go away. And this is, like I said, this is sort of a lieutenant level person you're talking to. Like you're not talking to city elders, but you're talking to. They're a very militarized culture. They're all wearing uniforms.
Aren't you worried about the fire spreading to other communities on this island? Are there other communities? You're actually the first we've seen. I guess that would be a lie. I should have warned.
Yeah, that's not a wise thing to do around Angkor. I just
I know.
I want to see something here actually, because that would be what you're attempting to do is to hoodwink them. That would
Yeah, which is
require
also-
a roll with polish, please.
I know. But
Do it. You rolled double sixes last time.
you just jinxed me. Watch. Yep.
um,
um
yeah.
And now Anchor's mad at me.
No, Anchor,
Yeah,
I
no,
want to give you a chance to
I have
respond.
to
Yeah.
I have to take a trouble. That's like my trigger. So
Okay.
he goes up to like the pissed state.
Yeah.
So for like a visual, there's sort of like he doesn't have muscles and sinews and stuff like that, but there's just sort of like a tightening of his grip on the anchor,
Yeah.
and you can kind of see there's like crackles of electricity that are going across his eyes, and you can almost hear like the wood kind of pressing against itself as he's keeping his
Yeah.
composure for the moment.
Literally under pressure. Just yeah, like a deep sea creature coming to the surface. That's the visual response. What do you say in this case?
He's not saying anything right
Okay.
now, like because yeah, personally he's almost like categorically incapable of lying, and she's just said a lie. So the best thing he can do is not talk.
Yep. Absolutely. Stand in the background, nod like a true believer. Perfect. Ben, the
And
liquor has. Oh, sorry, you were not done.
the
Yeah.
other point I wanted to make is Anchor being an automaton and following Cassandra, who's kind of dressed a little mystically and whatnot.
Yeah.
I think he's just trying at the moment to kind of work for the impression that he is like a summoned construct of hers or something. Does that
Okay.
make sense?
Yep.
As opposed
Absolutely.
to necessarily a complete and dangerous force on his own.
Yep. For reasons unknown, I would like you to give me a size up, please.
Okay.
So plus vinegar. 9
And my
and
my vinegar, I believe, is a -1. So
so 8. So it's you're still in the
yeah.
made it range. Um, as you do that sort of gert thing and make yourself even more automaton-ish. There we go. Oh,
Automaton.
that's not easy to say. Anyway,
Automaton.
as you do that, you realize that the more you do that, the more fear slash anger they're feeling about you. They do not like the fact that you're a construct. They're not happy. To chat just for that. Somebody. So yeah. Um, so yes, that's where we'll give you that too. They don't like you're different. They don't like you. Okay. Ben, you're on the bow. You're now you had that moment where the liquor's wearing off. You're not feeling an overwhelming urge to drink again, but it's there. It's itching. I'm not going to
Ben
make your roll
hearing
yet,
that
but you see that as you sort of the ship sort of bumps up against it takes all the way to bumping up against the dock to sort of break you out of your reverie.
Ben hearing that they have swords and he only has a dingy port dagger in his equipment,
Yeah.
he would yell, "I'm with the ship. I wanna trade for a sword," and he would just step down and
Yeah.
plummet into the water like he doesn't need to
Just
breathe.
yeah, and just walk up. Yeah.
He would go out with seaweed on his face, and he
Okay.
would
Yeah.
yell, I need a new sword. I have 2 vials of incense. Who wants to trade?"
Okay. I want to paint this picture. Um, because Anchor standing there, clearly like a magical construct of some
And
sort.
he's saying the truth.
Ben
So
is
Enker
absolutely
doesn't
speaking
need
the
to.
truth, but as you
Yeah.
come up out of the water, Ben, and you're like, you're waving your demonic arm around, covered in kelp. You just walked through water, didn't swim like a normal person. You're not from here. I
Yes.
mean, your accent is northern, right? Right. So you are every bit as freaky as Angkor, and the two of you, sort of one on the ship, one on the coming out onto the beach. Uh, Cassandra, we're cutting to you for the third person view of this. As you're talking to the person, you watch their eyes keep sort of drifting up and behind you, and they start looking at Ben as he comes out of the water, and they're sort of backing up, feeling uncomfortable, and sort of not quite reaching for their weapons, and this is still only the people on, like, they haven't opened the gate yet. This is just the guards and the person you're talking to. And I want to
We're
cut
not
away.
even the door yet.
No, you're not even at the door yet. You're just at the dock, right? At that moment, we cut away. Vanessa, you've got the length of the building, and straight below you is where your target is here. What do you do?
But I'm on House of Chickens allowed.
Yep, you're on the roof. The chickens are going nuts. People are looking at
And
the chickens, and they're just starting to
and
look
I
up.
wa-
How do you react?
and I was thinking if I can from position of roof open door of chicken house and height of back of the roof so people not see me but see that chickens are running out and
Okay.
they need to catch up
So
the
you're gonna,
chickens.
yeah.
But you are not on the chicken coop. They are free roaming chickens. They are everywhere.
Yeah, they're out in the yard. So
Yeah,
you just,
but
yeah, if you just run the
but I
length of
am
the
at
building or something like that. Okay.
yeah, but you told me that I'm boarding with chickens and they could attract people to
Yeah.
see me. So
Well,
I want,
but if you run
so
where
I
the chickens
want,
can't see you, then
but I will be fast enough or not.
oh yeah. Like, if you think about it, if that's the end of the house, right? The end of the house is there, and you're standing. We got you just went up this wall, right? So you're standing here. The chickens are down here. If you run down the roof, they can't see you, and they'll stop.
Okay,
And also, same with the people. They go, "What are the chickens looking at? Must be a hawk," right?
okay,
So
because I was thinking that I'm at chicken hoop and
no,
they attract people.
no, you're on the big house.
So
You're on the
then I
longhouse,
run.
and I imagine you. I've seen that the Naruto run. That's kind of almost that's the
Yeah,
sort of almost Naruto run that Assassin's Creed does down the roof,
yeah,
the ridge of houses.
and I will be looking for air condition to come inside.
Yes. So as oh, this is beautiful, and you guys are all gonna hate me. Vanessa, you find it's a thatched roof, and you find a thin spot, and you can just sort of with your fingers and you look down, you're about 3/4 of the way along the roof. And as you look through the hole, you see your target in a big throne at one end of the room, surrounded by 8 guards standing there with their swords in hand and shields in front of them. Traditional Viking gear, even though none of them look remotely like Ben, who's the only northerner you've seen. And the rest of the room is filled with sycophants and fans and courtiers and the whole court.
If I have clear vision on my target, I will shoot through all this special
Okay,
ammunition
you
and
load up the.
head.
I want to stop you because you load up the special ammunition. You're going to have to lean sort of through the hole up to here, upside down, to get the shot away. Is that okay?
Yes,
You come through the hole. You get ready to pull the trigger. You hear the scream of somebody below you. You kind of out of the corner of your eye, you see a well-dressed young female, obviously a member of the family, scream, "No, not my daddy!" And
I will.
the whole
I
place
will.
roared. I want to quickly interrupt. The whole place roars like people start to and look up. You've still got a shot, but I'm not going to let you take it until next week because outside on the boat, just outside the gate, you hear the place go up in an uproar of yells and screams and howls of rage. You don't know whether they're directed at you or at anybody else. And I'm not going to let you do anything about it either, because that is where I'm going to drop the curtain on tonight. Vanessa's about to shoot the king, and you guys aren't even in the gate yet.
This is fine. Everything is fine.
You guys wanted to kick their asses. I just saved you the trouble of pretending you liked them for half an hour.
Cassandra's like, I'm so happy I have this hat.
Yeah. Speaking of which, next week
Exactly.
I will have the hat
My
up
crew
on
is
you by
so
next
good.
week. I'll change the art for next week and give you your hat. I forgot tonight. I got so stuck into this story.
Sucked in.
I expected to get way further tonight
Uh,
than this, but we didn't.
I
So
will,
yeah.
I will want that in future if we refresh hearts that my mother will wear one glove or gloves
With a glove, yeah.
because she
Okay.
do,
Yeah. And I'll do
because
some
she
more.
don't want because she don't want to have like a reaction from crew members
Yeah.
like on Ben.
Yeah.
I should change Ben's character portrait as well because he doesn't have the book anymore.
Okay. So you guys can send me new character art as you wish.
Yeah.
Send me buff anchor. Make him even bigger. Either way.
I can't.
No, there
His
isn't any.
sliders are
He's
max.
9 feet. He's hit the max. All right. So before we get off topic too much, um, let's get to the thank yous. We'll leave this weird story that just keeps getting weirder, right where it is in the middle of the first active open acts of violence against other human beings. I wanted to wait until somebody told me they pulled the trigger or threw a sword or something, and this is perfect because they did it, but they didn't get to follow through. Just as you're starting to pull the trigger, Vanessa, as much as you are a stone cold killer, that's another human being. Another human being you didn't know existed, with a whole room full of people you didn't know existed. So,
Ben really wanted to do it, but he's thinking
oh
about the
Ben,
ship.
Ben, that's a good point. Usually I go out on the players, but
Yeah.
or on the character or the players, but tonight we can do it on the characters. Ben, you have to somehow get into that nightmare, this crazy mayhem in front of you. Find the guy that you got to kill and kill them without anybody seeing you. That is
I
starting to
like the
look
idea of
increasingly
demonic
unlikely.
chicken
Yeah,
next week.
yeah, yeah.
Ah, I
Cassandra,
have also, I have also idea that I want use this power of manipulation of mine of Dodger,
oh, you
so
can
she
do all
not
kinds of
react.
stuff. Yeah, but we'll have to hold on to that.
Yeah.
Cassandra, I never saw a better episode of new captain finding out what captaining is mostly about, which is chasing the cats that are supposed to be hurting. I'm super happy the way that you're playing it, Deku. I love this character, Cassandra. Um, I hope that you're enjoying playing them because they're a joy
Playing
to
catch
watch.
up with the toddlers just
Yep,
running around setting fires all over the place.
yep,
And
yeah,
also getting in trouble with her own people that she loves very dearly.
yeah. But I think it should be fairly obvious to everybody the cause. I mean, none of you have seen Vanessa in a couple in a while, so it should be fairly easy to know what the cause of the mayhem is. So Vanessa got here before you, but yes, thank you, Cassandra, or for playing Cassandra tonight, Deku, and Anchor got pushed tonight. I loved it a whole bunch of times. He said something one time like, "Hey, we're not stone cold killers," but
Yes.
then it was very human of the automaton that later on they didn't say that's a lie to Cassandra. So it yeah. The incredible humanity of the non-human human, right? I love it. So thank you for that character. Whew.
Yeah,
That was a session. Yeah.
if it was
And
up to me,
thank
I
you,
would have
Kevin,
warned
for
Anchor that Cassandra might have to lie
Yep.
It
just
wouldn't
to wheel
change
and
it.
deal with people because that's
Yep.
what she got taught to do.
Yep.
But she kind
I
of didn't have time with everything else.
Oh, perfect. Yeah, that's how
But
you
Like
go
the
through
unfortunately,
it.
mad.
the
Yeah.
unfortunately the warning doesn't change it.
Yes.
He like it's the lying that is the trigger for him.
Yep.
So even knowing it's coming doesn't change the fact that he like is deeply bothered by it.
Well, I love both parts of that because that's Cassandra applying human standards. And as much as we talked about the most human construct ever, he still is at his heart a construct, and some of the rules are rules, right? There's no questions. So that was really nicely played out tonight. Both sides of that.
And thank you, Kevin, for narrating. You did a great job with our craziness and our derailing as always.
Well, I appreciate that. I do have to kind of bolt out of here because I got to go help somebody else
Yep, yep.
be
Good
a
night.
GM. for the first time on a stream somewhere, so they wanted some. They want to talk to me before they do that. So I took that as a great
Okay.
compliment.
Yes.
And
Okay.
we will let you guys go, except that we're not going anywhere before I do the finish. Ever. Thank you, Siosa. Thank you, Janet. Thank you, Carol. And thank you, Deku. Without you
Thank you,
guys, this
Kevin.
isn't a story. And thank you, and thank me. Without the five of us, it isn't the same story. It's just one person blithering in the corner. So you guys made it amazing. You made it special. Thank you for that. To all the people that watch, if you watched the VOD, thank you. If you watched it over on YouTube and you got all the way to here, I'm going to presume that you liked it. So please hit the thumb and leave a comment. Comment is the best thing you can do for the happy algorithm. Please join Deku in the comments of any and or all of our videos, and tell us what you'd like to see, because I'm a very flexible GM and I will probably add it if it's a good idea. With that, there's only one thing left to do, and that is the important bit. Until next time, please, please, please be nice to each other. Good night.
Good
Bye.
Good
night.
night.